Welcome to the Eclectic Thrifter and Crafter, where we thrift and craft with purpose. It's Smalltalk Sunday. Pull up a comfortable chair and pour yourself a cup of coffee or tea, and let's see what mischief I've gotten myself into this week. It all started with an abandoned box of doll furniture, and come November or early December, hopefully I'll have a build that looks something like this, or as close to it as I can get. For the first part of our little project, we're going to dig into the jewelry findings box and pull out a few head pins. Along with the head pins, you'll need some basic jewelry making tools. For part 1 of our project, we're going to make a 1/12 scale magnifying glass. Now, to get the proper proportion for the glass frame, I used my paintbrush and gave it a good measure, and then I'm going to mark it to show where I'm going to put my wire. The head pin will fit just around it and give enough at the base to be able to put a handle on the magnifying glass. The project that I'm sharing with you today was my donation for the International Guild of Miniature Artisans for their auction. They use that auction to raise money for guild classes and other events. We're going to clip the little round head off and give it a few firm twists. And now we have our little magnifying glass frame. I'm going to use the epoxy clay to make the handles for the little glasses. I'm trying to use up the rest of my epoxy clay because it is a product that you want to use in the first few months that you have it. It does not keep for a terribly long time. I try to keep it as fresh as possible by putting plastic baggie over the top of it before I put the lid on. I've been pretty successful being able to keep it for roughly a year. And though I really love this product, my suggestion is if you're not going to use it within the first 3 or 4 months, think of something else to use if you don't mind keeping it around for a long time and taking extra care of it. Here we will take our clear nail varnish, put it in a little well, any container that you like. These little containers are salvaged from contact lens deliveries. I try to save everything that I possibly can use. We're going to take the magnifying glass frame and we're going to dip it into the nail varnish continually till that surface tension goes right across the frame. And when you get that solid surface tension going, you're ready to let it set. And there we are. Perfect. I made 2. One for me and one for the guild. This wonderful piece of equipment I have left over from 4-H. It is perfect and ideal for soldering and for making minis. We're going to move on to getting our eggs made. I will be using Arteza watercolors, clear nail varnish, and of course my epoxy clay. For each mixture of the epoxy clay, you want to make sure that you have the exact same amount or as close to it as you can get so that the formula will harden properly. I love this product because it's very sturdy. It does take 24 hours to dry. Now the one we're going to make first is the ostrich egg, even though I'm not going to be using in the presentation. A true to size ostrich egg is approximately 6 inches in length and 5 inches in width. So we divide that down by 12 and we get this size right there. And there we are. The average ostrich egg weighs approximately 3.1 pounds. This next egg is going to be an emu egg. I did not use this in the presentation either. These 2 eggs are going to be for an upcoming project. These will all become part of a display in the little library. Some of the distinctive shapes for the native bird eggs you can form in the palm of your hand. The first egg we're going to paint for the collection. While I have my epoxy clay out, I'm going to make several dozen of these eggs in various shapes and sizes. There's a large assortment, and here are the finished eggs. So you can see I made quite a few, and I believe they all turned out quite well. Now the eggs have to dry. Before we start painting, we're going to build our little display cases. The measurement for the display case is 2 inches by 2 inches. I did make a second display case that was 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. I simply used the black nail varnish for the paint. The cardboard is cut into 1/4 inch strips. I just folded it and divided it down, making the cross members first. Since I used wood glue for the case, I just went ahead and used wood glue for the cardboard, but I would use tacky glue in the future. I learned that the tacky glue stabilizes things into position much better than regular glue or wood glue. I find also that it dries much faster. The display nesting material for the eggs is just simply a ball of cotton. So for our first egg, we're going to use burnt umber and sienna. Always work from light to dark. This is our first egg, and we have our handy dandy piece of equipment with the two wonderful alligator clips and a little light. I'm mounting the unpainted eggs on pearl-headed sewing pins. The pins are easier to mount into the foam so they can dry. The magnifying glass really does help. I don't see very well, so anytime I work even on a normal size painting, I have to use a magnifying glass. And there it is. Egg number 1. Now we're on to egg number 2. You'll have to sort of test the waters to see what color blue your paint is going to make, and you might have to mix it in order to match the paint as close to the true shell color of the egg. Always remember to work from light to dark. I began with a pale green and then moved on to 2 deeper blues. The watercolor paint dries very quickly, and so I'm very happy with it. I sealed each little egg with a coat of clear nail varnish. Here we have our 1/12 scale Victorian native bird egg collection. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please like and subscribe, share my thrifting and crafting channel with your thrifting and crafting friends, and help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. I welcome your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. Check us out on Instagram and tap that notification button for upcoming announcements for Thrifts and Crafts. But most of all, have a lovely, lovely day.